So what was the hardest moment of my life, and what did I learn from it?
So far.
So far,
Right?
been going through a hard time recently. The DUI. It's never fun to go through. Learn from that. No one wants to go through that situation, and it's not a fun situation to be in.
Oh, there's many, but just little things. But a bigger one for me probably would have been when I really messed up my knee in school playing soccer, and I wasn't able to play soccer anymore. So I think when you get something taken away from you that you really value and you're passionate about, especially as a teenager, it was like everything for me. You kind of have to reevaluate what matters to you. So even though like that injury healed, and I was fine a year later, I had to kind of take a hard look and see, like, what do I want and what do I want to do and how do I want to fill my time. So I think I still carry that over into a lot of things that I do now. Another thing that I learned from it, though, for sure, was that being limited physically is really hard for people. And that will stick with me, and it's probably something I'll pull into my career to help people, not be limited with their physical, injuries, things like that. As we get older, that's really important for me. So, yeah.
Okay, so the hardest moment in my life was probably when I was a senior in high school and I was drugged and raped. That was probably the hardest moment in my life. I went to trial with that guy and lost, and he was let free, no consequences, and so I learned not to trust people because that was my best friend's boyfriend that did that. So I learned not to trust people so easy and to really watch my guard.
Probably, it sounds weird, it's like the first thing I think of, but when I found out I was going to be a dad, it wasn't like of course it was joyous, but it was like really like a grounding experience, and like, wow, there's so much stuff I have to do and to learn and everything else. And I just learn from it still every day. It's a learning experience. And yeah, so that's that one.
I would say would be when I gave birth to my daughter, because at the time I was a Jehovah's Witness, and I had lost so much blood that they were telling me I would die without a blood transfusion. And it was really interesting to be in a place where I had to decide if my faith at the time was enough to give my life for. And even though I don't still hold those beliefs, I think knowing that I had the strength to go through that, like even though I would have taken the blood transfusion now, and I didn't then, when I didn't then, I know it was because it was something I believed in, and I know that I have the strength to go that far. So I think the ability to have that kind of constitution and will within yourself, and the ability to change a belief when it no longer serves you, is something I learned from that.
Well, understanding that there's things that I can't change, I would say, is the hardest thing to let go of. Sometimes things just need to roll their course, so to speak. And it takes strength to let that happen.
That was probably when I signed my parental rights to my son over, so he'd be safe and be able to continue to grow and not have to worry about me so much. What did I learn from it? Addiction is hard, and follow through is not always easy, no matter how much you want to do it.
And the second question is, tell me about a person who changed your life.
So a person who changed my life, that would be my grandfather. He just passed away, but he always treated everyone like, whether they were like the richest person, the poorest person, like he didn't care. He was always joking, laughing. He was like the sweetest person ever. Treated everyone with respect and integrity. Was always happy, always joking, always laughing. Didn't take anything too seriously. Very sweet man. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go with Jimi Hendrix because he was humble about his talent and he wasn't egotistic about it. You know, when people would say, you know, you're one of the best guitarists on the planet, how do you feel about that? He's like, I don't like the idea of people saying that I'm the best because then it steers you off course when you consider yourself in that aspect. So I'll go with that.
I'd probably say my mom, being that she couldn't take care of me when she was younger, when I was younger, having the right of mind to give me to a family that was able to do that, so I had a better future.
My grandma. She always made me feel accepted and I wasn't different, that I had my place in the family. We were pretty close.
Person that changed my life, I would say, would be my oldest brother, because we were separated when I was about 8. But we were separated because he had such strong feelings about who he was as a person that he was willing to leave everything he knew to pursue that because he felt like it was what was right. And that made such an impact on me as a child that even though my life kind of went in a different direction for a long time, about 5 years ago, after we'd been apart for 20 years, I was able to find him when I was also doing the same thing. So I love that he embraced me at that point, even though it took me that long to get to where he was.
There's a lot of people that have changed my life. But I would think, you know, off the top of my head, of somebody who's not here with me anymore, I think those ones stick with you a little bit, because you want to remember them and remember those things that they changed about your life. So for me, it would be my Uncle Joe. He was really kind of like the patriarch of our family, and he taught me, you know, what family means, and that family is valuable and sometimes irreplaceable, and that when in doubt, celebrate over food and a good glass of wine, and you know, we don't judge other people, and we are all unique in our own way. He could walk into any room and he would just, I don't know, be the ball of energy. So yeah, that impacted my life since I was very little. Definitely. I definitely miss him. But yeah, that's it.
Tell me about a person who changed your life. Well, I would say this person right here, Heather. She has changed my life for the better. When we met, you know, I was a completely different person for the worst, and I hope I'm a better person now. So, yeah, that's it.
You know, it's so far. There's gonna be so many hard moments in your life.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel always. That's about it for that.